630 WMAL.
8:07 on WMAL. Brian Eman, Jim Pethokoukis from CNBC and Reuters in this morning.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda.
President Obama, big news last night, the announcement that Osama bin Laden is dead, killed by U.S. forces, Navy SEALs in Pakistan, hiding out in a compound north of Islamabad. Richard Miniter joins us now, author of the best-selling book Losing Bin Laden and the upcoming book The Mastermind, Inside the Secret World of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. So you obviously know this guy pretty well. Richard, your thoughts on the capture or the killing of Osama bin Laden?
Well, obviously, this is the greatest foreign policy achievement of the Obama administration, and I'm sure if George Bush has one regret this morning, is it didn't happen under his watch. But it's an amazingly clear textbook operation, a mixed operation between CIA paramilitaries and Navy SEALs. Apparently, the operation was going to go forward on Saturday. Bad weather delayed them. They had a mechanical failure in the initial raid. But this is not Jimmy Carter, Desert One, with the wreck of the helicopter. All of the parallels between Obama and Carter have now been decisively shot down with an effective victory over Osama bin Laden. And don't forget, they've captured a lot of documents, computers, phones. Those will lead to future raids around the world against al-Qaeda operatives from Morocco to the Philippines.
Well, that's the real question. There's been people have really downplayed bin Laden's role in al-Qaeda. What is the impact? Does this further degrade what their capabilities, which have already seemed to be degraded?
Well, it's a massive morale failure for the organization. The idea that bin Laden was untouchable, that he was blessed by Allah and protected by supernatural forces, that has been dispelled fully. And if you look at the propaganda changes inside al-Qaeda, we'll see in the next couple of days how they react to that. Also, we'll set off a war for succession. Al-Qaeda's number 2, Dr. Ayman al-Zawahiri, an Egyptian linked to the Sadat assassination in the late 1970s, he will most likely not be able to take over. There are enormous tensions between the Egyptians and the Saudis and the other Arabs. The Egyptians always had a sort of special advantage inside al-Qaeda, deeply resented for that. It's possible that Wabashi, the head of the al-Qaeda on the Arabian Peninsula, based in Yemen, will take over instead, but most likely there'll be infighting, and if the U.S. is clever and lucky, we can take advantage of that.
To what extent do they have capabilities? Everybody has been saying that now they want to have some sort of quick strike to show that they're still relevant. What can they really do at this point, and quickly?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? In terms of capacities, every known al-Qaeda training camp has been destroyed. Every known al-Qaeda recruiter has been killed or captured. It's not a big surprise that bin Laden was killed in Pakistan. More than two-thirds of the more than 600 senior al-Qaeda leaders who have been killed or captured since 9/11 have been killed or captured in Pakistan. Most of their capability remains there. There is some new capability emerging in North Africa. And some new capability in Somalia and in Yemen. But apparently none of that will be able to strike the United States or Western Europe. They'll probably strike U.S. embassies, U.S. businesses abroad, capture U.S. tourists, that kind of thing. In terms of a 9/11 style attack, it doesn't appear that they have that capability in these days.
The place where he was captured in this compound in essentially a suburb of Islamabad, near a hospital, near the military establishments. Are you surprised that he was found in an urban area, not in some cave somewhere?
I am not surprised. First of all, the media reports that he had kidney problems were actually Pakistani propaganda put out in the late 1990s. After the U.S. captured his personal doctor in 2002, the U.S. military and intelligence learned he never had kidney problems. He didn't need access to kidney dialysis. But the Afghans had consistently said that he is shielded and protected by the Pakistan intelligence and military apparatus. And then if you look at the other kinds of senior al-Qaeda who were killed or captured, they were often captured in apartment buildings like Ramzi bin al-Shib, respective of the 9/11 attacks, or Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, also captured in an apartment building in Islamabad, in a nice area of town, by the way.
All right, so urban areas is where we should be looking. Yeah. All right, Richard, good to talk to you. Thanks for coming on the show. I know you're busy this morning. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Richard Miniter, author of the best-selling book Losing Bin Laden, also The Mastermind, Inside the Secret World of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Your reaction to the death of Osama bin Laden now. 1-888-630-9625 is the phone number. 1-888-630-WMAL. You can text feedback to 68683. It's going to be interesting to see where we go inside with Pakistan and also where the war in Afghanistan goes. You brought up the point a couple of hours ago that, well, you know, a lot of people in this country are going to say, well, we went into Afghanistan to get rid of al-Qaeda and to get Osama bin Laden. There's really apparently, and Richard just said, not a lot of places left to bomb when it comes to al-Qaeda holdouts, terror training camps, and now bin Laden is gone. The American people say, hey, it's time to get out of Afghanistan. On the flip side, KT McFarland said, hey, this could actually help us big time.
This could be an ideal opportunity, really, to make the case with Pakistan, saying that, listen, you've been sheltering him. You better let us get more aggressive on the border. So this could really be a time of maximum opportunity to press that advantage, especially on that border region, rather than going the opposite direction, saying, we're done. We're going to pull out more quickly than we'd anticipated.
Yeah, you say to Pakistan, look, you had to know this guy was hiding out in this compound. I mean, my goodness, how did you not know this? Clearly you weren't, being honest with us. So we want more information. And perhaps we gathered a lot of information from this raid, from this compound, where we can find new people out. But, lead us to Ayman al-Zawahiri right now.
Hey, American public, who wants to give more aid to Pakistan right now?
Yeah, exactly. Who wants to give more aid to Pakistan?
Let's write that check out to no.
Yeah, no. And then when it comes to Afghanistan, perhaps this is just the tipping of the domino, and will they fall? Where there'll be more people in the Taliban say, hey, all right, well, we kind of see the writing on the wall here. Low-level people might more get on board with us. Could it lead to a faster conclusion in Afghanistan, or will it lead to a faster conclusion because
that Taliban could be far more fragile than we know, and we may find out right now. And if that's the case, we need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and if you're just waking up, you're getting in your car, and you're hearing the news for the first time, Osama bin Laden has been killed. We got him in a compound. This is amazing. In a suburb of Islamabad. About 60 miles north of Islamabad. It was a nice neighborhood, but this was a compound that was 8 times larger than the typical house in this neighborhood. It had 18 high-foot walls around the compound, had barbed wire fences. The 2 people who lived there, who we tracked because they were couriers for bin Laden, what we believed, even burned their trash. And we figured these guys out. We got a tip about it years ago, but we got a specific tip in August, and apparently some of it came from detainees at Guantanamo Bay. But then we got a hard hook on this guy about August. We finally tracked him down. He may have been a protege of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. And finally, we figured out where it was. These 2 brothers that live in this compound. We got the intelligence. We figured out that bin Laden was there. And as Richard Miniter just reported to us, apparently the go-ahead was given on Saturday, but bad weather and mechanical problems.
Here we go again. I know this is.
Don't get me on the mechanical problem, but I'm ticked off because the 4 helicopters that we flew in there for this mission that dropped off about 24 Navy SEALs. One of the helicopters had a mechanical problem, so we had a hard landing inside the compound. They later had to detonate that helicopter. They blew it up, but thank goodness they went in there and they found bin Laden, 3 other people with him. Only 3 other people apparently, and there was a woman as well who was being held kind of as a human shield. But the Navy SEALs killed everyone in the compound. So three guys, a woman, and
it turns out they were concerned that they all had suicide vests on. So they didn't give them much chance to surrender at some point.
But the bottom line is 2 shots apparently to the head, to the face, maybe even between the eyes for bin Laden. He is dead. We took the body with us, and it was apparently there was a burial at sea, is what we're hearing, and that there will definitely be some controversy surrounding that. So we'll get to your phone calls, your reaction on the death of Osama bin Laden. May 1st, 2011. It was 9/11/01, 5/1/11.